Hello, this is my update. It's been a while since my last update. It's been about 4 or 5 months. Um, biggest problem is right now that I've been battling is a cyanobacteria, and you can see it all throughout on the sand bed. And you can see how it's kind of starting to take over the rock, and along as the poor cocoa worm tube. You can see that. The reason why it looks better than what it has, I know you haven't seen previous, but it's because I've been blowing it off. But you know, cyano is pretty persistent, and it keeps growing wherever it lands. You know, I've seen it up here in the top where I've had to blow it off to make sure it doesn't interact with anything else. So, you know, that's been a problem, and I'll talk more about the growth that's been going on. The brain in previous videos, you know, I've said that it's lost its color, and it has lost its color, but it's been maintaining what it looks like now, which you might not be able to see, but it's a real light green. Its tentacles are extended right now because I just turned on the daylight for this video. And so a lot of the corals you'll see now has its tentacles extended. You'll also notice the tongue coral. This guy, you know, his tentacles are out slightly. I've seen it more extended. But the problem I've been having with the tongue is that I always bring it. I'm always moving it, like every 2 weeks. I'm moving it back to where its original position, which is back here somewhere. And it's always moving this way towards the brain, and then they start stinging each other, which, you know, I got to start moving it now because they're getting real close. You know, when they start stinging each other, they both swell up, and you know that can't be good. So. And it's been almost a weekly occurrence where I have to move it back. So, you know, I gotta be careful about that. The moving up, the anemone. The anemone's doing good. I've been feeding it like weekly. Probably not enough, because in the past it's been more full. I mean, right now it doesn't look full because it thinks it's nighttime. So, you know, it should be more full. It probably extends more to about there. So, but it's doing good. It's maintaining its color, and I've been feeding it shrimp, like raw shrimp, and silver sides. So it's doing pretty good, but I need to feed it more. The Montipora type coral next to it, you'll see I had a plug there, and actually I moved the plug over here because the anemone was stinging the plug, or this Montipora type coral, and it wasn't doing well. You know, you could kind of see that the polyps aren't out as much there as it is here. And that's because the anemone has been stinging it. But you know, I moved it over, and but you know what? Like this multipar has been growing even still. It went the other direction, and you could kind of see it in the back over there. So you could kind of think of it me fragging it. You know, it kind of grew on this side. It grew on the adjacent rock, and so I moved the plug over to this side, and now it's growing on the adjacent rock, but it became a life on its own on this side. So it's a good way to frag things if you know, if you just want to frag it, keep it on one side, let it grow onto the adjacent rock, and then just move it onto this, onto another side of your rock formation, which is proven to be awesome in this case. And that's because of the dosing system that I've been using. You know, these corals, they're very, very dependent on calcium and alkalinity. And I've been using, I'm sure I've touched this on a different video, the BRS calcium and alkalinity dosers. You know, using these timers over there. So it's worked out. I haven't had to dose the system at all for about months since my last video. You know, and it's been dead on. You know, I think it's like 450 calcium, 9.0 alkalinity, DKH. So it's doing great. I don't want to know what it looks like when it fails. So let's see what else. The torch coral. Torch coral is hanging out. You know, it's retracted right now because it lost some of its coral, lost some of its color because, you know, I just don't think the lighting is cutting out. It's just cut out for it. So, as suspected, I think it lost its color along with the tongue and the brain and the starburst coral, you know. I think metal halides or LED lighting would be best for the system, which I'm reluctant to do, but we'll see. Those zoanthids, you can see a huge difference with the growth on it. If you look at my older videos, you'll see that it's just been limited to this area right here. And now it's grown out significantly. And, you know, that's huge. Big deal. The system's doing great, but not too great with the more photosynthetic corals. So, let's see what else. The starburst, I touched on it before. Starburst is, as you can tell, losing its color, and as you can see, it's on top of the rockwork, which should be getting a lot more of the lighting, but you know, it's not doing so great. It's turning white on me, so I think this lighting needs to go again. Further proof on that. The torch coral has been doing great. Torch coral is right now retracted because it thinks it's nighttime. During the day, it's really full, you know, out there swaying. It looks good. The color on it hasn't really died out. I think I haven't really compared, but you know, you could see the little fan. I forget what they're called. There's some type of shrimp fan type finger looking. I forget what they are, but they're still kicking from the very start that I got them. So I remember reading that they're not that resilient, but you know what? They've been living in the system for about a year now. What else? The candy cane coral. You can see the tentacles out right now because it thinks it's nighttime. You know, I just turned on the lights, so its tentacles are sticking out. They would be sticking out more, but I had the light on for a while now, so I think they're retracting a little. And they're doing great. They did lose a little of its color, and again, I think it's because of the lighting. The club coral, scroll coral, whatever you call it. You can tell the growth. It used to be around right here, and now it's grown out about that much. That's about an inch difference, an inch and a half, 2 inches. And that's in part of the dosing system. You know, we're using alkalinity and calcium dosing every day, keeping it right where it needs to be. Right now we're using, 20 minutes? 20 minutes calcium, 20 minutes alkalinity. So in other words, it's dosing 20 minutes of calcium and alkalinity. And it's pretty much keeping it where it needs to be. 450 calcium, 9.0 alkalinity. So let's see what else. The sponge, you notice that I got rid of the sponge right here. It was turning brown on me, not sure why. I've read online it's because if you have cleaner water, it doesn't work out as well. Sponges. Not too sure about that theory because I have pretty dirty water, I think, but I think it's clean as well. So I don't know. Some of its offspring, as you can tell, it's right there. It grew from there. It was growing. It browned out. I started seeing this guy spurring up. It just started growing, and it's in this high flow area, and it liked it. But now it's browning out. So it was real red. It was bright red, kind of like that, like this guy. This what is that? A snail right there. It was real bright red, burgundy looking, and now it's browning out. I'm wondering if it's because my lighting is going further onto the deep end and not providing as much light. Let's see what else. The pulsing zinnias, you know, from my previous videos, you can tell that it was just limited to that area right there, and they spread over here. You know, they're not as extended right now because it thinks it's nighttime, and normally this will be more full, but you know, because of the circumstances, and it's spread up here all the way up there, and it's pretty much filling out that top area. I guess maybe looking for more light, more flow, not sure. But that was kind of the plan, you know, fill out this top corner. So let's see what else. Now a touchy subject that I need to cover. You know, I've read a lot of good reviews on this True Temp. This guy, after a year, it's turned out to be horrible. I've changed out the temperature probe twice already. While the heater element is fine, the temperature probe is a really bad design. And you can see the temperature probe right there, just hanging out. This guy broke right where the probe section, right there, it cracked, and it cracked twice. What I did was the first probe that I got, it came with the package. It cracked, and I was getting some crazy error messages like that, and I narrowed it down to the probe. I changed out the probe. I hot wired the wire to some other type of probe that I've had, and it worked, no problem. But I wanted to keep it factory default, and because of the 1-year warranty, I was able to get a new probe, and I got the new probe, and here it is. And again, same error. This guy, it's horrible. It doesn't work. It needs to change. TrueTemp is using bad probes, so I would highly advise against TrueTemp. I guess the product overall, because they ship with these probes. So right now what I'm using is a regular generic probe, but a heater, which is right there, which I don't trust, So I have a cheap product on this system, and I need to change it out. There's the old system, the titanium, whatever it is that they advertise. That heater element works great, but I'm resorting to this guy because the probe failed. What I'm gonna do is I'll have to resort to using which is not a bad fail-safe. I'm gonna use a Reef Keeper Lite or an Apex system, which I can monitor over the internet. So I'll end up doing that, probably the Apex unit, and I'll still use the TrueTemp. This guy, the TrueTemp heating element. Maybe not this controller, because the probe doesn't work. The probe's over there. It's crap. So I want to emphasize that. Everybody needs to be careful about that TrueTemp. And that's pretty much it. I know this has been a long time since my last video, but I think it's a good testament as to what your system could look like after a while. Good care, blah blah blah. Good support on YouTube, whatever. So keep the support, keep it up, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.